Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Excuse me, welcome back to Jelly Bean's channel, where life revolves around him. I'm Alita, these are my books, and you've reached Alita and the Books. I was not going to do this video, mainly because, going into 2024, I know we're only, 17 days in, 18 days in. Anyways, we're 18 days in to the year. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do, a goals type video because I don't want to put pressure on myself. Here I am, 18 days into the year, and I'm like, I want to put pressure on myself. So, I don't really want to call these resolutions or goals, but that's kind of what they are. These are just my hopes and dreams for 2024 as far as my reading life goes, I guess. So, the first question is always, how many books are you going to read? I read a lot of books. It is 18 days into the year, and I've already read 17 books. So I'm ahead of my schedule to read 250 books. And you might ask yourself or me, why 250? That's because last year I read 205. The year before that I read 220. And the year before that, I read 222. So I want to challenge myself a little bit. I'm nothing if not a challenger of all things that I can do. Now we're gonna just roll with what I wrote. I have a lot of different random goals and plans on here, so it's kind of just in a random order, but we're just gonna roll with it because that's how it came out of my brain onto my paper. So these are just plans that I hope to accomplish in 2024. The first one is to start wearing my watch again. That is my watch. It died over vacation, and then I had my husband charge it for me, and I forgot, so I need to start wearing my watch again. That is not on this list, though. So let's actually get to this list. I want to read at least 12 nonfiction books. That is one a month. And I feel like that's very doable. So I don't see myself reaching for nonfiction often, but when I do reach for nonfiction, I love it. So I just need to get out of that headspace that I'm not allowed to read nonfiction or whatever. And I don't really own a whole ton of nonfiction. I think I own physically 10 to 12 nonfiction, but then I own some on audio too. So either way, I want to read 12 nonfiction books. I feel like that's very doable for me. I just don't reach for nonfiction, but when I do, like I said, I love it. Number 2 is one that I think I'm doing pretty good on already. But I want to jump on the shorts bandwagon of YouTube, which I kind of have done. I make my husband do the challenges with me, and I don't tell him what they are because he kind of lives under a rock. He doesn't really keep up on the trends or anything, and to be quite honest, I wouldn't either unless I was trying to debunk them or just, do a funny video. So like, I debunked the one where you, like, hold like this, and then you try and get up. You breathe, you try and get up, and the theory is that you're gonna fall over. But, I don't know. I'll just link it up here. Go watch it. It's like 15 seconds because it's a short. And, you know, I like doing those shorts. They're kind of fun. But more importantly, this series on my channel that I started that is a series of shorts, I have this book called Literature in 30 Seconds or Less, 100 Classics Cut Down for the Pace of the Modern World. So there are spoilers in this. I don't know if I'm going to spoil any books in my series, but basically we're going through every single book in this, you know, every single novel. So there's like A Christmas Carol. I talked about it in this short, and then I decide if I want to read it or not, and then I'm going and I'm writing if I want to read them. Well, first off, if I've read them. Second off, if I want to read them. And thirdly, kind of a generic plan of when I would like to read it. You know, if I don't stick to it, then whatever. But we have started this. This is a weekly series that I'm doing, and it's basically literature in 60 seconds or less because the book is 30 seconds. But, you know, we like to talk. I like to talk, okay? So, 60 seconds literature. I give you a book, and then I tell you if I've read it, if I haven't read it. I talk about some of the plot summary and some of the themes, and maybe go into the interesting fact. And it's a lot of fun. I usually read this beforehand and then take notes on the things that I want to talk about. And then I literally have 60 seconds to pitch a book to you. And I tell you my personal opinion if I'm going to read it or not. There are some classics that I'm not super interested in. Actually, classics terrify me. But this kind of gets me out of my bubble a little bit and expands my repertoire of what I am willing to read and what I will be reading, what I have read, kind of. I hope that makes sense. All right, then our next one is I want to do this series on my channel, which I'm actually filming a vlog, my first vlog for this series that I'm thinking will last all this year and maybe into 2025, depending on how this first series goes, this first part of it. I have this book called 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered that I got for Christmas, and I absolutely love that book. It has horror book recommendations broken up into different sections. The first section is paranormal, and then the subgenre of that is like haunted house. So I gather all the haunted house books and I read them. And my goal for this particular vlog or like series of vlogs is to kind of figure out what I like in horror novels, because I am very, very picky all the time with everything, but especially horror novels. I feel like I like the campy kind of psychological. I like psychological and I like the campy style of horror, but I want to see if there's other things out there that I would like. So I'm trying to go in with an open mind. This one scares me. Some of you don't come at me. I want to allow myself to DNF books, and I've been a huge, I love DNFing books. I feel like it's good for your mental health. If you're not liking a book and you actually gave it a chance, then DNF it. Do not finish it. Did not finish. DNF. I particularly will, I guess that's not true because I DNF'd my first book today, and it is part of that testing horror books to see if I like them series. I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but I read a book from the 101 horror novels you have to read before you're murdered. Yeah, I read that. I read one and I wasn't enjoying it after 300 pages, and it's like a massive book. It's over 500 pages. I think it's like 550 pages, and I wasn't enjoying it, so I just gave myself some grace and I DNF'd that, and I feel like a weight has been lifted. So going into reading vlogs, I don't vlog a lot, which will be one of my goals, but I don't normally vlog a lot, and when I do vlog, I feel really bad DNFing a book because I feel like I'm doing a disservice to you by DNFing a book, even though it's helping my mental health. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be reading this book in this vlog. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be finishing this book because I'm not liking it. But that is the true honesty of booktubing, at least for me. I am a huge supporter of DNFing books if they're not working for you. And sometimes it's not even a permanent DNF, it's just a, I'm not feeling it in the moment, I need to take a break from this book and reevaluate later. And that's completely cool too. This one book that I DNF'd today, I'm not going to tell you what it is in this video. You'll have to wait for that vlog. But it's like a permanent DNF. It's like I'm not interested anymore. It's completely off my TBR, which is great. Okay, the next goal is about vlogs. So I want to vlog more. I want to come out with at least 24 reading vlogs in the year 2024. How original. One of them has to be a 5-star vlog where this video does not end until I find a 5-star book. I filmed a video like that in 2023 in like October or November, and I was so proud of that video. And then I found out that I lost all that footage. I didn't lose it, but it was in this weird slow and quick mode or something on my camera, so I didn't have sound and the quality was like very slow motion and I just couldn't use the footage. So I did not get that vlog out, but I would really like to do that vlog in 2024. At least once, okay? Then a goal of mine that I didn't even know that I had was to read more books than I haul. So that means I have to keep track of the books that I haul. Oh, and I'm looking at my TBR cart over there that has all the books that I've hauled this year. Yeah, so it's okay. I have 13 there, and I'm up to 17 books read. So we'll see if it stays like that the entire year, but, you know, whatever. Okay, this next one is a doozy. I spent weeks. I spent weeks taking inventory of all my audiobooks, all my Kindle books, and all my physical books on my TBR. I have 1,180 books on all 3 TBRs, like collectively. I want to get that number down to a 3-digit number, which means that I have to read at least 181 of those books, with the caveat that I am allowed to unhaul. So if I go do a big purge, I don't really have any physical books that I want to unhaul that I haven't already read. And I'm also trying this new thing where this year I don't want to do any unhauls until the end of the year, so I can collectively grab all the books that I want to unhaul. Hopefully a lot of them will be books that I've read and didn't really love. But I want to do that either at the end of 2024 or at the beginning of 2025. Which, if you're new to this channel, you don't know, but I unhaul and haul new books constantly. One of my favorite things. So that's going to be a tough one for me, but I'm really going to try this year. Then I have 180 physical books on my TBR, or at least I did 18 days ago. So I want to get that number down to a 2-digit number, whether that's through unhauls or actually reading them. I mean, those are my two options. I don't really have any that I really want to unhaul, though, because I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm really excited for most of the books on my TBR. And I want to read 95% of them for one reason or another. Whether it's like a classic that I'm terrified of, but I think I might like, or they're just my thrillers, because I really like thrillers. So I want to get that number down to at least 99, if not lower. But that would mean... Oh man, I should have thought this through. I have to read 81 physical books. But that's like not counting if I haul books too. So, we'll see. Okay, then my next goal is like kind of like a video goal, kind of. I don't know. It's to do a real 5-star prediction. So I've done 5-star predictions on my channel before, but most of the time I don't stick to it. Either don't read the books, I unhaul them without being read, or I lose interest. So I want to sit down sometime, hopefully pretty soon, maybe February or April. I know April is a little bit out there, but February is my rebirth day, so it's my Cancer date. It's my Cancer birthday. And April is my actual birthday, so maybe for my actual birthday, I'll do like a 5-star prediction. Or maybe for my rebirth day, I'll do a 5-star predictions. It'll be coming within the first 6 months of 2024. That way I have a little bit of, room. But I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it. Like, what am I going to base my 5-star predictions on? But I do want to seriously get a list of 5-star predictions that I'm excited for and that I want to take seriously and keep track of. That's the big part, is keep track of. Then I did not bring them in here, and I'm not going to, but I actually have 2 book journals that I have actively been keeping track of the books that I'm reading, and I take notes on the books and, put a rating, put the date that I read them, everything like that. I want to continue that for the entire year. If I get behind on it, because sometimes I'm more focused on work, you know. So if I get behind on it, I just want to stay relatively caught up on it. You know, if I have to take one day a week to spend an hour or two getting all my books down, I'm fine with that. If I want to do it once a month, then I could do that. But my thing is that sometimes I read so many books that sometimes I forget. Like, I remember the emotions and why I loved a book. Like, usually it's to do with my feelings and my emotions. But I don't always remember specific things like set in New York or the characters' names. I'm really bad at characters' names. So I just want to kind of keep track of that better, have a written record of that. I also want to finally do the movie versus book adaptation, or book versus movie or TV show adaptation, but I don't know if it's going to be this type of like sit down video where we talk about it, or if I'm just going to vlog it. I do have Carrie vlogged up here for Winterween, so I'll leave my Winterween vlog up there. In that, I read Carrie, and then I watched it, and then we talked about the movie and the book and which one I liked more, and my very controversial thoughts on both of them. So if you missed the Winterween vlog, I'll leave it right there. I also want to take better self-care, and one of the things that I really, really enjoy, besides reading, but sometimes I get to the point where reading feels like a job because of my channel, and like I don't want it to feel like a job, because like this is for fun as of right now, you know? So something I want to get back into is writing. So I have this 52 list for happiness. So it's literally just list. So list the ways that you feel lucky, list what makes you happy right now, and then there's like different things like get together, and post it on social media and things like that. And then it kind of has like a take action, so like a challenge, and I would very much so like to do this more. My goal was to start this in 2024, so I could really start it anytime. I'm already 2 weeks behind, and that makes me anxious, but I could easily catch up or just start it now from week 3 or week 4 of the year and just go all the way to week 4 of next year. You know, it doesn't have to be like chronological, you know? I mean, I don't know if that makes sense or not. But I think that is all of my reading / video plans for 2024. I'm sure there's more. I also have the 24 books that I want to read in 2024. Some of them are associated with some of these goals in mind. Some of them are not. But go check that one out too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel, where we're always doing bookish things, doing some silly challenges on my shorts. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.